In order to join the ranks of the Southlake Fire Department, applicants must first pass a physical ability test. Successfully completing the test will demonstrate that the applicant is physically capable of performing the essential job functions for the firefighter position. The first test is the rescue maze. Each applicant will wear a helmet, gloves, jacket, an SCBA, and a blacked out face mask. Each applicant will enter the rescue maze and follow 100 feet of 1 3/4 inch hose through the maze until they exit the other end. Each applicant must not lose contact with the hose. Contact for this event is defined as at least one hand on the hose at all times. The failure points for this event are if the applicant exceeds the maximum time allowed, which is 2 minutes, or if they lose contact with the hose by releasing it. The second test is the aerial ladder climb. Each applicant will wear a helmet, gloves, jacket, an SCBA, and a ladder belt. The aerial ladder will be at a 70-degree angle and extended to 75 feet. The applicant will climb the ladder using a truck belt and safety line. The applicant must touch every rung while climbing up and climbing down the aerial ladder device. Each applicant will be instructed to remain at the top climbing rung of the aerial for 10 seconds prior to descent, and a whistle will signify the completion of the 10 seconds. After the whistle is sounded, the applicant can then start descending the aerial ladder. The applicant must remove the ladder belt after dismounting the aerial apparatus onto the ground. After the applicant removes the ladder belt, the next event, the fireground evolution, will start in 30 seconds. The failure points for this event are if you exceed the maximum time allowed, which is 3 minutes, or skipping rungs. For the fireground evolution event, each applicant will wear a helmet, gloves, jacket, and an SCBA. For the charged hose drag, the applicant will carry 200 feet of 1 3/4 inch hose. That hose is to be charged and maintained at approximately 100 psi. The nozzle shall be secured in the closed position for the test. Each applicant will drag a hose the distance of 100 feet and then return to the starting point for a total of 200 feet. Cones shall be set up that clearly define the distance. Each applicant will return the nozzle to the starting point. The applicant can aim the nozzle straight down or forward, but not backwards. The applicant must maintain control of the nozzle throughout the entirety of the event. This is for their safety as well as minimizing damage to the equipment. Applicants will receive a warning if there is an improper aiming of the nozzle. The failure point for the charged hose drag is to exceed the total time given for the entire event, to lose control of the nozzle, or improper aiming of the nozzle. A ventilation fan will be used as the equipment for the equipment carried portion of the event. The fan will be located on the ground directly behind a cone indicating the start of the equipment carried. A cone will be placed and marked 75 feet past the starting point. Each applicant must lift and carry the fan to the cone. They must not allow the fan to touch the ground until it is placed at the end of the 75-foot marking. For the ventilation simulator, an 8-pound lead shot hammer will be used for this event. The applicant must drive the sled 5 feet with the sledgehammer. The applicant must maintain control of the sledgehammer throughout the entire event. No pushing or pulling of the sled by the hammer. The applicant will receive 1 warning for each violation. The failure point for the ventilation simulator is to exceed the total time given for the entire event, to lose control of the hammer, and no pushing or pulling the sled with a hammer. The first violation will result in a warning. The second warning will result in failure. The next event is the body carry. The dummy used for this event will weigh approximately 125 pounds, and when carrying the dummy, it may either be dragged or carried in any fashion as long as the head does not strike the ground. The applicant must clear all the cones, and the dummy must be advanced 25 feet around the cone and return to the starting point for a total of 50 feet. The entire dummy must pass the finish line that will clearly be marked by a line and/or cones. The failure points include exceeding the total time given for the entire event, the dummy's head touching the ground, or the applicant touches the cone. The ladder raise is the final event. Standing in a designated marking from the ladder, the applicant will fully raise and extend and lower the top fly section of a permanently fixed 24-foot ladder twice by using the hand-over-hand method. The applicant must not allow the rope to slide through his or her hands to lower the fly section or step out of the designated area. The applicant will receive 1 warning for each violation. Failure points include exceeding the total time given for the entire event, or a second violation of any of the following will result in failure. Steps outside the lines of the box, allows rope to slide through hands, or does not use the hand-over-hand method.